Lockbox, Chapter 30. Adam inhaled. He was breathing. Up on his chest, then down, up, then down. The sensation was barely noticeable, yet Adam knew instinctively he was alive. When he stopped noticing his inhale and exhale, his attention was drawn to the thump, thump, thump in his chest. After several beats like this inside himself, his eyes flashed open. His view was that of the sky, bright and blue. So now he registered three things. He was inhaling and exhaling. Something inside him was thumping, and above him, a vast blue space. Adam was lying flat on his back, and he found himself squinting as there was a large yellow glowing circle in the vast blue space. He registered this, instinctively took it in. The yellow glowing circle seemed to touch him and warm him all over. In instinctive reaction to the bright sun, Adam lifted his hand in a protective shade, and he noticed the brown hue of his skin. He also saw his hands for the first time, and they had 5 digits. He blinked at the sight. Around the brown skin was a glow, a bright halo of yellow, just like the sun in the sky. His eyes moved between those two sights, the sun and the yellow bright halo around his body, where he could see the halo. When he moved his hand, the halo moved with his hand, his fingers, and his lower arm. All this he registered wordlessly. He had no words for these things. Sometimes he could not distinguish between the rays of the sun and the bright yellow halo of his hands. Adam lay where he was, his attention at times on the sun and at times on his hands, at times listening quietly to the thump, thump, thump in his chest. The continual inhale, exhale of his breathing was almost impossible to ignore, but not quite. These sensations of the awakened Adam filled him with gratitude and admiration. He stayed in this instinctively contemplative mode until another strange sensation reached him. Sound. He turned his head toward it, but saw nothing. He turned his head left to right, but his eyes did not help him at all. He was hearing, not seeing. He reached in the direction of the sound, grabbing at it, but there was nothing to hold. He understood now this strange sensation was not a thing he could see nor touch with his hands. Determined to discover this new sensation, Adam sat up. Through all this, Adam neither thought nor reasoned. He acted merely instinctively. And as he sat there, out of the bush came bounding a creature. The little thing was white, with fur all over, with a fluffy round white tail, and long ears pointing up to the sun. The creature hopped close to Adam and nestled at Adam's thigh. This gave Adam a pleasant sensation, and he spent a long time caressing the contented little thing. Adam noticed the creature had a yellow, bright halo like he had. The brightness of Adam's glowing body, which seemed more powerful than this small thing, did not bother the creature in the least. In fact, the yellow covering shimmered around everything, to one degree or another. It was all the same, except not similar, depending on the thing Adam observed. Another sound reached Adam's ears. In response, he stood up. His tall frame moved in the direction of the sound. His brown eyes, too, greedily experienced all around him, and he saw many, many other creatures moving around in the sparkling green grass. The yellow glow that surrounded him seemed to sparkle back at the bright green grass and green full trees as if engaged in some primordial language. He had reached the new sound and saw that the sound was now at his feet, brushing, moving, splashing. What was it? He instinctively knelt and stuck his finger in it. The substance ran around his finger and had a cool sensation. This felt far different from the comfortable warmth he felt. He gazed curiously at the substance flowing around his finger. Now he spoke. Water. The sound struck him. He made a sound. He said it again. Water. And stuck his whole hand in the rushing water at his feet. Water made a sound. He pondered these two things. He heard the sound first, he came to it, and saw it was connected to the water. Adam gently touched his ear with his finger, then slowly moved that finger down into the water. Here, he whispered haltingly, water. Then he heard a different sound. Adam. Adam froze. Another strange sensation of sound had reached his ears, only this time he had a feeling of familiarity. He instinctively knew this voice. I formed you out of the earth, Adam, came the voice again. Adam stood silently. He knew only two words, so he said them. Here, water. Here, water? I created the water, yes. What you hear is the movement of the water. You are created so that whatever comes to mind, you shall speak it and declare everything around you what it is. What it is. Very good, Adam. Everything here is good. Good, repeated Adam. Bless you, Adam. You are my image and my likeness. Image and likeness, the voice said. You have sensed much about yourself today, seeing, feeling, hearing, touching, and you have even named your first thing, water. Water. I said what it is. Yes, yes. Now I will leave you to experience the things I have created for your world on your own. And you will take each thing and call it what it is, whatever you think of it or feel for it. And in due course, I will return to you, and we will speak again when you have discovered some more. Speak more. Creator. What you are? Yes, Adam, I am the creator. I am the created. You created. Yes, again, Adam. Excellent. You are adopting fast. When Adam sensed the voice had left him, Adam knelt to the river at his feet. He said the word again. Water. Created. The Creator. He touched himself inside his yellow halo. Adam. He paused, thought for a long second, then stood up. Adam. Created. The Creator created Adam. The Creator created water. I say what is. Everything Creator created. Lockbox, Chapter 31. Adam did exactly as the voice had instructed him. He went about naming everything, and as he produced a sound out of his soul, he called the thing, living or non-living, what it is. And as he would say it, from time to time, Adam's creator, for that is the word he now used, returned to him. Together the two would speak. Soon Adam had a very sizable vocabulary from all the things he instinctively called for what it seemed to him to be. When he was able to observe from his senses what each thing he named did, he named that action too. His vocabulary of nouns and verbs grew. The sensation of peace and contentment filled Adam. In his walks around the garden, he found 3 more rivers, he said, because they kept moving. He learned, I can run like the rivers. He named the furry created thing he first met. You are rabbit, because I felt pleased at your rubbing me. Adam had a sharp intellect. He knew everything instinctively, though he had to discover it all. One thing what it is, and then another thing. One day, Adam spoke with his creator. Creator? Yes, Adam. Why is it that I make words and the other moving things do not? All those that have eyes and see, they have mouths that make sounds but do not speak, like you and I. The Creator chuckled. You mean they make sounds different than yours? Yes, replied Adam gleefully. I cannot understand them like Creator. They are not like us, Adam. Not like us? Yes, they are created like you, but they are not created to be what you are. Just as you named them what they are, I created you to be what you are. Oh, realized Adam, I am different. I speak with Creator, they do not. Correct, Adam. You will be Lord over everything here. Lord? Just as I am above you, you will be above all these created things. That is, Lord. Oh, responded Adam, you are my Creator and my Lord. Adam paused. He took in the entire paradise, the green grass, the gurgling rivers, the tall trees flushed with summer leaves and large, brightly colored, and all the animals he had now named. He decided to walk over to a tree near the middle of his surroundings. He sat down under its large leaves. He had taken to coming here instinctively ever since he discovered it. He pulled the bright orange-colored fruit from it. I called it what it is, orange. The orange tree. The Creator chuckled. Good call. I come here often, said Adam, to eat from it and feel very good. This is the tree of life. Tree of life, repeated Adam. The orange tree is the tree of life. He pointed to a large tree just across from his vantage point under the tree called life. It is strange tree what it is. I don't feel it, he wondered at it. I don't feel to eat from it. The Creator sounded serious. Very good, Adam. It has a dark fruit in it. I call that fruit fig. Fig? What it is, a fig tree, because its fruit is dark color and I do not feel it. The Creator added, your intuition is correct. And in addition to what your intuition shows you what is right, I will speak to you this law. I will ask you to not eat the figs from that tree, Adam. I already feel it to be not desired. Why to speak this law, Creator? My spoken law will reinforce your intuition, Adam. The fig tree will give you the knowledge of good and evil. Good and evil. Adam tasted the phrase, good and evil. He had learned much about the word good. This is the first time I have heard the word evil, and the sound of it feels undesired. Indeed, your intuition is correct again. Just do as I say, responded the Creator. Trust me, the intuition is not always strong enough. From the fig tree you must not eat. If you do, you will no longer have me to teach you and help you from within, and that will mean death. It is my spirit that powers your intuition. It also gives your life connection to my everlasting life. Adam looked around happily, enjoying his orange fruit. If I eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, I will no longer have the spirit of Creator's life. Then the Creator said, Adam, you need a partner. A partner? An individual like you. Lockbox, Chapter 32. The Creator said, Sleep, Adam. There you go. Just sleep. Eve awoke lying beside Adam. Her skin is brown and shining new. Her eyes are dark and happy. Her hair is black. It is long below the shoulders. The first thing she noticed upon arousal is the golden yellow auras spread out all around, chaining everything together. For a long period she lay supine in silence. The bright sun above her beamed golden yellow, and silently too, washing the sky in a bright, cloudless, glittering blue. She observed all this as sensation slowly opened to instinct of self-awareness. She did not move. Yet she felt something deep inside, feeling a wonderful sense of contentment and happiness, of health and mental clarity. She felt no contradiction in her. She is, she knew, she saw. She possessed curiosity in its purest, frictionless form. While lying there silently, complete and undisturbed, she heard. Adam, awake, said the voice. I bring her to you. Adam sat up, awakened from his sleep. He looked over and saw her lying there. Creator made a partner for me, he said. Eve could see Adam leaning over her. She felt curiosity. She heard again. This one looks like me, but with other things. The Creator responded, in a fashion, true. Yet as you can tell, she is not like all those other animals you called what they are. Yes, animals, responded Adam. Not like them, like me. I took her out of you. Out of me? From your bone. From my bone, repeated Adam. He felt a new sensation he had not felt before, a powerful sensation of attraction surging through him. What is this feeling I have? The Creator responded, connection. Connection to this bone from me? You can say it that way, yes, Creator chuckled. You will not understand what I have created now. Give it time. Time. What is this? The Creator chuckled again. That's another very long topic for another time. As Eve heard these sounds, a powerful urge grew in her to sit up too. So she did. She formed the word bone. Adam responded to her. You are bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. They stared into each other's dark eyes. The Creator asked, what do you call this new thing I've created for you, Adam? I will call her woman. Woman, he answered as he gently explored her by touch, running his finger along her brown shoulders. Because you created her out of me. Eve responded to his touch. She touched him, felt the sensation and stared at her fingers. Woman, I am, the Creator then said as his voice faded away. Adam, you will teach woman all that you have heard, all that you have learned, and what I have told you concerning your food, the tree of life and the one of the knowledge of good and evil. You are of the same nature, and being one, your fates are bound together. So Adam raised the woman to her feet. He taught her all he had learned of the paradise around them, of the green grass, the four rivers, the rabbit he first named, and all the other birds, fish, and land creatures he named. He explained to the woman the Creator and his voice. He made clear to her they were his creations, everything his creation. The woman enjoyed immensely all this new understanding of her existence. In this knowing, she grew stronger in use of her wholeness. She had need of nothing, and her laughter with Adam came forth loud and pure as they ran together through the fields, touching, hearing, seeing, and calling new things as they are. Lockbox, Chapter 33. Nude in the darkness, Sara gained some small comfort from the golden yellow aura around her like a clothing of light. She had returned exactly to the transition point in the darkness, in the exact same condition, where Rhonda had interrupted by waking her from sleep. These things don't happen in mere lucid dreams, she said to herself. This is a vision, just like Father Seraphim explained. She continued forward through the night, following an undefined landscape. In the darkness, she could define no mountains, no waterways, no forests. The sky did reveal stars and a partial moon, and everything everywhere had framing it this connective tissue of the golden yellow halo. Sara felt no terror by this night. Indeed, she heard no menacing sounds. It was as if this world was devoid of anything living except the grass and seemingly her own breathing. After making much headway over this flat land, the night sky gave way to a colorful dawn, then a bright morning. The sky stretched above her, clearly shimmering its golden yellow aura. The sun loomed large, dominating the sky. It streamed warm, bright rays, giving the world around Sara a stark visibility. She could see the land before her did have its own character. The grass under her feet felt soft and spongy. It stretched out ahead, healthy green, vibrant with life, shimmering and unmarred. The rushing, gurgling, liquid sound of a river nearby drew Sara. When she looked around her, trying to gather its location, Sara could see some parts of the landscape looked phased out. It was almost as if the landscape was fading into nothing, but it refused to completely disappear. Nevertheless, just north of her, every expression of nature radiated liveliness in all colors, and she saw the edge of the river that called to her. She made her way to it. The paradise-like landscape grew more defined with each step in the morning's sunny illumination. At last, Sara began to see animal life. Some she could recognize, such as rabbits, squirrels, birds doing circuits around, diving in and out of the distance. And she could make out individual trees, all in full summer bloom. The golden yellow halo surrounded everything, animate or inanimate. No longer did she have any doubt that she had configured before her an existence utterly unlike her own. Even the world of Ephesus, where John the Aged or Aristion existed, paled in innocence compared to this place. This location resembled nothing she had ever imagined before. She had no reference point for where she had materialized. Where she had arrived to struck her not just as a difference in kind, in fact, it seemed a difference surpassing in quality and nature. Glowing closer took nearly a day, and she finally came to a row of hedges. She had not seen these from the distance. After a while, the idea that she was naked completely vanished from her mind until, for the first time, she saw Adam. The sight stopped her in her tracks. She quickly dropped below the hedges. His naked, coffee-hued frame filled her mind. It stunned Sara to see such a perfectly formed body encased in that golden yellow aura. The way she reacted to Adam's nudity came not from emotion but memory. Her feelings expressed bifurcated reactions. On the one hand, she had an immensely neutral reaction. She would call it stoic. And then she also had a completely opposite suggestion about what her reaction should be. He should not be nude, she thought. It felt indecent for this man to be on display like this, especially his private parts, and she could not be nude either, or her private parts. She felt wrong to see him, and she felt natural to see him. That is, she felt like all she could see was the yellow halo around him, like seeing clothing. Therefore, this man looked perfectly decent in his halo, and it shouldn't be any other way. Am I dreaming this part? Sara could hear the faint sound of laughter, two voices, one male and the other female, and joyous sounds of merriment. She peeked over the hedge and examined the direction of the laughter, and then she saw the woman. At first, a wild urge to run out and make herself known pulled at Sara, demanding of her to stand and shout her presence, to not be a peeping Tom. Again she noticed the bifurcation of her thoughts. The sensation of guilt felt foreign to this place, and it was as if she herself was the foreign element. Then a smaller, more forceful voice intervened. "We don't think that would be wise." The voice entered her head from outside. It introduced a third mental conflict of her own inner thoughts battling for dominance. Instinctively she whispered, "Who is speaking?" "I am," said the Creator. "We don't think it would be wise for Adam and the woman to know of your presence." "Come out where I can see you," demanded Sara. Could she control this dream? The voice demurred. "That will not be possible." Sara searched her surroundings from her crouched position beneath the hedge's height. She saw no one other than the man and the woman, and they were intent on each other. No other soul appeared near the hedge, neither by the river, nor by the trees scattered over the landscape, nor anywhere visible on the green lush grass. "You have me on a disadvantage," bemoaned Sara. "Is this the lockbox?" The Creator chuckled lightly. "No, I am not your lockbox. But it does play a role. You are a post-Eden child, a daughter of their offspring, they who run in paradise." Post-Eden child? What was this voice referring to, thought Sara. A daughter of their offspring? What do you mean by these phrases? I'm searching for answers to what is a life-giving spirit, and how this place brought death to my mother. I know. You will begin to find your answers here. All the answers, however, are not in the vision. The dreams remain in your control. What do you mean? The edge of anger filled Sara's voice. Creator's voice came back sure and undeterred. You will need the life-giving spirit. Your mother had it. She has given you an opportunity to find your way to complete forgiveness. It is the key that will unlock the usefulness of your lockbox. Aristian said, I will not achieve one without the other. My faithful servant is correct. Sara paused. I still don't understand. You are in the garden paradise, Eden. You mean the mythical Garden of Eden I heard about in movies and children's stories? She briefly stuck her head above the hedge, capturing again the forms of Adam and the woman. No, She dropped down again. It can't be. Well, said the Creator, you were in ancient Ephesus. It is different, true. Its existence very different in nature, very different. Jesus, she whispered reflexively, you are talking metaphysics. Yes, that is I. Sara froze. Her throat caught. Her voice vanished. She gagged and felt restrained to get a word out. She gasped once, then again. Her eyes closed, then opened again. The Creator waited as her panic and shock dissipated. I'm speaking with you to protect my own plan. I have no desire to intervene against or for you. I only ask you not to make yourself known to Adam and the woman. You may observe and discover. In horror of this reality, Sara confessed, I am speaking? God is speaking to me? I speak to a lot of people, most of whom don't pay attention. There was a moment of silence. Today, I give you a special attention. Sara waited. Sara wanted to surrender. Am I part of your plan? Not part of my plan, as you might understand it. The one is entirely on you and on Jasmine, and the one I love, John. The visions are mine, the dreams are yours. Dubious, Sara took a deep breath and curled into a meditation position on the grass behind the lush green hedge. Okay. So you are here to set boundaries for me. That statement is correct. For this moment, you will not be able to go beyond what is and was. What will be is your own affair. But everything is your affair, protested Sara reflexively. If yours is truly the voice of the Almighty Creator, she could not possibly be talking to God. She rehearsed this denial in her head. She was dreaming. Yes, this entire thing was a dream. She did not believe in a God. Her subconscious made the whole thing up, she told herself. Not until her mother, Jasmine, started acting strange did Sara even have a faint hint her mother believed in God. Now this invisible voice spoke to her as if he were Jesus. He articulated to her as if he were neither dream nor vision. He was claiming to be the ultimate creator, the great artist of her mind, conjuring experiences for her. If Mr. Donaldson had not offered her a $65,000 per annum salary to find out who John the Elder was, she would not even be locked in this insanity. And she was no closer to the answer to his question. Yes, she had met John the Age, but she still had no clue if he was the elder. For all that, she kept getting cryptic promises from dreamed-up entities about her journey. And now this voice of God was telling her that Jasmine too had walked this path. The entity claiming divinity was asserting all this had implications for Sara's own destiny. Her mother had deliberately pushed Sara here with the lockbox gift. Presumably this lockbox was the same being referred to by this creator. Inconclusive, Donaldson had asserted to her. Inconclusive to what? That the lockbox from Japan, created by the mysterious Tay Enterprise, possessed power over the minds of lucid dreamers? Sara had to consider the proposition because she had no control over the visions. Father Seraphim had explained this to her, and as yet she had no direct connection to the so-called purpose of the lockbox. If this God was real, the voice coming from what she could not see, then the lockbox did play a hidden role. The Creator interrupted Sara's thoughts. Everything is certainly not my affair. I know you sons and daughters of Adam would like to believe I get involved in every niche of your lives. This is simply not true. I choose not to do that, and frankly, I turn my back to most of what the rebellious do. They want nothing to do with me, and I see no reason to force myself upon them unwanted. You are completely free as to your wishes and desires, your plans, even your dreams, and I am free as to mine. Sara responded sarcastically. There will be no Dukes Mechanical on my behalf then. Got it. She couldn't help feeling annoyed by this dream vision. She suspected her feeling of being more than bothered fell far short of paradisiacal emoting. I hope you gain what you are seeking. I will be watching. Suddenly, instinctively, Sarah sensed the Creator had departed. He had commanded Sarah could observe Adam and the woman, nothing more, not control. She must stick to seeing and hearing. Lockbox, Chapter 34. Adam sat at the edge of the river with his feet dipped into its cool rush. The water flowed around his shins, giving their flesh a cool, enjoyable tingling. He admired the multicolored birds flying above him in the stretched out sea of blue sky. The air entered his lungs after each inhale without a single malformed particle, and the wind was so still the sounds had a crisp, comfortable reality to him. The gurgling of the rivers, the tweeting, happy whistles of the birds, the instinctive friendliness of the animals could be felt in the formless, spiritless expression of their voices. Sarah observed this from her hiding place behind the hedges. Luckily for her, many of these green shields aided her in her clandestine reconnaissance. Paradise, it seemed to her, existed in a kind of bubble, not enclosed but underdeveloped. There were no natural boundaries, no massive, insurmountable mountains. The green landscape just stretched into the haze beyond the crisp, clean air of paradise. The hazy boundaries had an animation of their own. She observed when Adam stood up and walked to the oasis's seeming boundaries, a new expression of the landscape would appear for him, the world around him growing larger and reshaping into a new expression of his paradisal playground. She could see him as if he would step to the boundary, imagine a thing, and then it appeared. The haze seemed to be a substance he had permission to form and configure. When she considered this ability, she wondered about her own powers of configuration through lucid dreaming. Hers was a different way, a way born from knowledge. Much of her physical reality mankind had learned to construct into new and different substances. However, the actions in her waking life felt tainted. Here, the haze substance had a purity to it. It didn't feel as though it was being torn from its natural roots and being made unwittingly into some other object to be dominated. She perceived both her own taint and the untouched purity of this reality at the same time. She doubted very much Adam endured this duality. The golden yellow around her, Adam, the woman, and every animate and inanimate thing in paradise knitted them together in a pool of perfection. There existed no knowledge of malfunction for them, no awareness of danger, no shrinking back from the terrors of the night. In her nature, Sarah Mew's conjuring was violent. In Adam's nature, love made things. Sarah very much sensed these dark parts of herself, which she brought with her into this garden paradise. The difference seemed to Sarah to be like a stark warning. The impurity of herself and purity existing in Adam and the woman originated from this knowing which Sarah possessed alone. Adam and the woman possessed only knowledge of the wonder, untainted by a forced knowledge of good and the insidious intimacy of evil. Sarah knew she was naked. Adam and the woman had no such word, because naked implied absence, and Adam and the woman had nothing to be absent from. Sara knew she had just come from being accompanied by a Ristian, and she knew she had left her own existence in Colorado, USA, where she worked at Donaldson's grocery store. She also knew she had come to learn about Jasmine, all this in addition to this purpose which brought her to this place in time and space to discover what the life giving spirit was and meant. This difference roiling within her felt stark. She had a reason for being here emphatically unique from the bliss of Adam and the woman. As Sara pondered the bifurcation of her instinct and her knowledge, she could see the woman had moved away to the thicket of trees at the center of the paradise. Sara's attention being drawn, she moved down the hedge in a crouch. The hedge, just as she thought she had come to its end, moved with her. It extended further, as if in knowing silence. When Sara moved forward, the hedge stretched on a little more. She responded to this fortuity. She continued this movement. The landscape responded to her until she felt she had drawn close enough to the woman to hear but not be discovered. The sound of voices traveled unhindered here. Sara arrived to where she could see the woman standing under the branches of the tree with dark fruit. The tree behind the woman had bright orange-colored fruit. Both were, to Sara's recollection, fig trees in form, but they produced different kinds of fruit. Neither fruits resembled anything she had ever seen back home. The brilliant dark fruit had a triangle shape, and the bright orange fruit had an oval shape. While Sara gazed at the woman staring into the tree with the succulent dark fruit, another person appeared in the branches. The figure had two long legs dangling over one branch of the tree's thick leaves. Multiple branches with full-bloom fig leaf and abundance of fruit concealed the rest of this figure. In the obscurity of the bloom, however, Sara could see the figure's eyes. They had an undulating white brilliance. Unlike Adam and the woman, what little of this figure Sara could discern, the man's skin had a body of crystal clarity, as if one could pass one's hands through it. He looked solid, yet Sara felt that the figure had no solidity at all. Furthermore, the entity displayed no connection to the golden yellow halo enclosing everything and everyone else. It seemed detached from the garden paradise. Dream or vision? She again thought to herself. The partially hidden figure spoke first. Did the Creator really say you may not eat of this fruit here in this tree? The woman responded, Oh, hello. Are you a named of Adam? I am the cherub that once covered, responded the figure. I see you have an interest in the delicious ebony fig fruit. It's gorgeous to behold. A stunning delicacy, I say, tasty to the giving of the knowledge of good and evil. I am drawn to the beauty of the darkness of this fruit. This is true. Sara felt a strong urge to jump from her hiding place to intervene. She resisted. The Creator had said she must not interfere. Did Jasmine interfere? Is that why she suffered her decline and ultimate demise? Then the woman was saying, The Creator said, You can eat all the fruit of the garden, but of the tree in the center of the garden, you may not touch it or eat of it. The cherub leaned forward from his tree branch. Now, why would the Creator say you may not touch it or eat of this tree? Pausing to think for a moment, the woman said, You will surely die by death, said the Creator. And what is to die? Asked the cherub. The woman could not answer. Sara almost jumped out of her hiding place, but she could only growl under her breath. The memory of her mother's death flooded her mind. She saw in her reflection the days of slow waste, The final agony, the funeral, the cremation, the loneliness. Sara knew all the woman could not know and should not know. I have no knowledge of this thing, to die, responded the woman, nor do I sense it deep inside. Is it as the river that flows over the hill which Adam named? Or perhaps it is as the furry rabbit, whose touch is so soft and pleasing. This tree of the knowledge of good and evil, returned the cherub, his voice slithering, his tone tempting. It could help you know this thing to die, the same knowledge the Creator has. The same knowledge? Exactly. The same knowledge of good and evil. I don't know. Adam says the Creator commanded in a strong voice not to partake of the fig fruit of this tree. Unlike his other voices, said Adam. To die? That feels unnatural. You won't surely die, pushed the cherub in his voice even more slithery. The Creator knows you will not die the death. Die the death? Questioned the woman. Are you saying the Creator says one thing and yet means another thing? He speaks of a bird when he means a fish? Yes, lied the cherub. You will simply have the knowledge of death, just like the Creator. And besides, the Creator is engaging in a play of words. Then the cherub spoke a little truth. Die and death? To die and then to have death? These are not the same, and yet so very similar. Yes, the woman questioned. Die to death. What does it mean? Yes. The tree is full and filled with attractive dark figs. Yes. These figs must be as pleasing to the taste as they are to the eye. Yes, responded the cherub, and I'm in the tree, sitting in its branches. Do I look like I've died? Is there death with me? I'm touching them? No, you seem not this thing to die by death. Curious. Yes, curious. The cherub plucked a juicy fat fig from the tree. See, I'm handling it. He paused as the woman pondered. Take it. Touch it. He handed it down to her. Sara wanted to scream, no. The woman took the smooth, triangle black fig from the cherub's hand. She gazed at it, her brown eyes feeding on the fig's shiny and healthy golden yellow aura. Slowly she drew the fruit to her mouth, brushed it with her lips, looked up at the smiling cherub shining brightly in the tree. Then she looked down at the ebony delight in her hand. Its halo matched her own. Then she quickly bit into it. Its sweet juices filled her mouth. She looked up at the cherub and smiled. Then she went running toward the river to find Adam. Lockbox, Chapter 35. Sara thought she could hear voices in her head as she crouched beneath the green hedge. The voices sounded friendly and familiar. One voice sounded like a man's and the other belonged to a woman. However, these voices did not belong to Adam or his woman. Then she heard the woman say, Father Seraphim, she's not waking up. Then Sara knew, or imagined she knew, the woman's voice belonged to Rhonda. How could she know? Was she dreaming it? Then she heard Father Seraphim's voice. Remember, the lucid dreamer can make decisions from inside a dream and communicate them to the outside world. Sara thought about this, peeked up to see the woman running toward Adam with the fig from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and decided it was the moment to speak to those outside her dream. Painting an image of Rhonda and Father Seraphim in her mind, in her bedroom, she said, "This is not the right time." She waited, listened, then no response came to her statement. Maybe it worked. Adam still sat at the edge of the river, his feet dipped into its cool water rushing by his shins. He turned to see the woman hurriedly approaching him. He smiled to see her. She was such a joy to him, so perfect, such a wonderful gift from the Creator. He admired her above every other thing. He had the joy to name what it was. He had called her woman. It felt so right to him, so necessary. He adored her every word. He knew woman to be created individual who he named. The woman was unlike any other thing he had the pleasure of naming in paradise, and this sensation he had whenever the woman drew near had no rival. He did not have a word for this feeling. He only knew what he named her, woman. His connection to woman he understood to be explicit and necessary. He smiled again, ready for this new interaction with the woman from his very body. "What has the woman learned today?" he called out as she approached. The woman held up the ebony fig fruit. "I took and ate." "You what?" asked Adam. He could see the woman had taken from the tree Creator had said not to eat from. "You took and ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil?" The answer was innocent, asked in curiosity. The woman was from him, and he trusted her implicitly. He also remembered the Creator's command. "You may eat from every tree in this paradise, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you may not eat of it. For in whatever day you eat from it, you shall die by death." Adam repeated under his breath, "Die by death." The woman excitedly approached. "I took and I ate." "Am I death?" "I have no knowledge of this thing, death," responded Adam, "but I know Creator's command not to eat of it. But I am here with you. I ate." She shoved the fruit toward him. "Join me, Adam. Eat." He shoved her hand back. "No, I will not. The Creator said no." The woman took another bite from the fruit. "The cherub who covered told me." "The who?" interrupted Adam. "This is not a thing I have named." "The one in the tree who shined." "There was a thing in the tree? You named it cherub?" This was surprising to Adam. He had given names to all things in the garden. This name he did not give. He said he was the cherub that once covered. "I name all things in the garden paradise. It is for me to do this. This is the command I have from the Creator." "Well," responded the woman, "he had a name. He gave me it. He gave me the fruit. He said, 'You shall not surely die the death.'" Adam paused. He lacked the capacity to respond. He trusted women implicitly. He knew her, bone of bone, flesh of flesh. Yet Creator had said, "To eat is to die by death." This was truly a new, unknown thing the woman brought to Adam. The woman continued. Her excitement became pronounced as it dawned on her how she had become the teacher and Adam the student. The pride she felt swelled in her. Then she thought of a clever workaround to the Creator's command. "Creator told you not to eat of it. He did not tell me. You told me. You did not take of the fruit from the tree. I took from the tree. Now I will share with you. I am not the tree. From my hand you are free to eat of this beautiful fruit." She again shoved the bitten, ebony, glittering fruit toward Adam. "Take and eat with me. We will have knowledge of good and evil like Creator." The reasoning penetrated Adam. He had named the woman what she was, bone of bone and flesh of flesh. She was taken out of him. Perhaps she had instinct he lacked. Now the woman wanted to share with him her joy, her discovery. I want to be with you and the Creator, said Adam. This, however, is outside my knowing. Let us know, Adam. Let us know these things together. I took and ate. Do I die the death? Look at me, Adam. I am bone of your bone, as you said, flesh of your flesh. She again shoved the fig toward him the third time. He took it out of her hand. Sara stared from the hedge in disbelief. He's going to do it. He'll eat. Adam admired the fruit. It is a pleasant fruit to behold, and it has the golden aura like us and all the created things from the river to the sky. Yes, and me, Adam. It is my desire to share with you, as bone belongs to bone, and the flesh gives to the flesh. You do not have to take it from the tree. I ate and live. I received from your hand, woman. Yes, flesh of your flesh. You are unique, like me. See, said the woman, and you will eat with me, and we are together in the knowing. And Adam quickly took a bite out of the ebony fig.